Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here, the 3 Topics Gamer here to share if you know one of my requested top 5 list videos to share with you guys today. Now, one of my viewers going by this name thought it would be nice if I happened to pretty much share what were my top 5 favorite alternate costumes in the very popular PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game, which I openly recognize as probably the second greatest comic book video game ever made, slightly behind only Batman Arkham Asylum. And over the course of the game, there's a lot of alternate, suits you can have Peter Parker wear, and, I guess someone just wants to know which were the top 5 that I actually liked using over the course of the game. So if you happen to enjoy this video idea, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to track me on my future videos. And if you have any ideas that you would make for great ranking, either tier lists, worst to best videos, or top 5 list videos, make sure you share those ideas as well in the comments down below. So starting off with number 5 on my list, I am going to go with, hang on a second, a suit that not a lot of people talk about, but it's something that I've actually seen before much earlier than when this game came out. And that has to go to the Spider Armor Mark 1. Now, this is pretty much a typical Spider-Man suit, but it's kind of decked out in all black armor. Now, the first time I remember seeing this particular suit was actually in the animated series that played during Fox Kids during the 90s, taking place during, I believe, the last story arc that had Madam Web recruit our Peter Parker to team up with alternate versions of himself in order to deal with a much more corrupted version of himself. And I believe one of them was wearing this black armored suit, and he was like a multi-millionaire, and everyone knew who he really was, and he was kind of arrogant. And I think one of the best qualities that he had about his suit was that apparently he had a laser in the finger, and our Peter Parker thought that was just really so cool. And I think that this suit really works because when it comes to Spider-Man suits, I think if I were Spider-Man, I definitely would have multiple suits that I would wear at either different times of the day or in different situations. So while I love the classic red and blue suit, as that looks great during the day, if I'm at night, which Spider-Man does operate a lot of times at night, I would definitely focus on wearing a much darker suit. And I think that this armor type suit fits perfectly for those situations. So that's the main reason why I think that the Spider-Man Armor Mark 1 suit is number 5 on my list. Going into number 2, I'm going to go with the Antiox suit that you get at the very end, right before the final battle with Dr. Octopus. Now, I absolutely love this design. I love it when Spider-Man wears some form of armor, and I think the mixture of the yellow lighting fits perfectly. And I thought it was cool that this was kind of made out of technology that he kind of helped create, so it made perfect sense. And much like the Mark 1 armor suit, this looks really good when fighting at night. Sorry about that. Yeah, and it just and I like how it got damaged a little bit during the final battle. I thought that element was also really, really great. So yeah, that's really all I got to say about this suit. It's unavoidable. I think it's cool. I did use it a bit after in the aftermath gameplay, and yeah, that's mainly why it's number 4 on my list. Number 3 on my list has to go to the Spider-Man 2099 suit. So now, this suit actually technically belongs to Miguel, who, we're going to see in the upcoming Spider-Verse movie that's going to come out later this year, so I'm really excited to see that. But I just like how this is just definitively belongs to a different Spider-Man that's not Peter Parker. It looks great. I mean, it's definitely I would say, out of all the main colored Spider-Man suits, this is definitely my second favorite behind the classic red and blue one. I mean, there's different variations of it, but like the main one that we get in this game, I think that the Spider-Man 99 has that kind of, it's kind of organic, and it's not really, it just stands out a lot. I think it's like one of the main colored suits that really stands out the most. Just love the little details, how he has those little prongs on the outside. That kind of reminds me of Batman, and the mask is very different because this one is, his powers were given to him much differently than how Peter got it. And yeah, that's really all I got to say as for why it's number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list has to go to the Spider-Man Noir suit. Now, I've seen several interpretations of this suit, and this is just perfectly the old, like, I like it for the same reasons as, say, like the Mark Armor 1, and as well as the Antiox suit. But like this one is like the top suit you would wear if like Spider-Man was going on like a pure stealth covert mission. Like and it kind of fits the environment of Spider-Man Noir. I mean, it absolutely fits. And I remember seeing also using this suit in it was another Spider-Man game where you were playing as four different versions, and ironically, you also got to play as the 2099 suit, and I believe Shattered Dimensions. I think that's what it was called. I think it was Web of. It was one of those games. The name's escaping me, and I feel bad for it because I really like that game. But yeah, I mean, there's different versions of the Noir suit, but I just think that this one looks like the most covert operation type of suit, and yeah, it just looks really really cool. I think it's definitely it's without question my favorite dark Spider-Man uniform that I've ever seen. And there's different variations, but I thought this was probably the one I was using this second most throughout my playthroughs. Anytime I had a mission at night, I would always change to my Noir suit every single time with no hesitation. So that's why it's number 2 on my list. And number 1 and my favorite alternate Spider-Man suit to use in the popular Spider-Man PlayStation 4 game has to go to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man suit. For obvious reasons. Now, this suit wasn't available until sometime after the game came out, but the second I heard that this suit was coming out, I knew that this was going to be my primary suit for every playthrough that I did during the day. For obvious reasons, I think that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films are, definitely my favorite. Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man. He is, without question, my second favorite interpretation of Peter Parker / Spider-Man, with my favorite one being the 90s cartoon one, and number 3 actually being this version of Spider-Man before they alternated his face and made him look like Tom Holland, which, for those of you that know me pretty well, you know how I feel about Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Boy. So, yeah, that's really why the Raimi suit is, without question, my favorite suit, alternate suit to use in this game. So that does it for my ranking of my top 5 favorite alternate suits for the Spider-Man game. If you happen to enjoy this game or have some suit that you really liked wearing while playing this game, let me know in the comments down below. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you all next time.